kind of grew up going to a Methodist church. I went with my mom and my two sisters, and I had fun, and I went to youth, and I made friends, and I enjoyed myself. But friends kind of faded in, and youth pastors faded in and out, and I just kind of lost touch, I feel like, with church. And the older I got, the more further away I went. The older I got, I played ball. I stayed busy with my sisters and, my parents, and I kind of did my own thing, and I just didn't really go as much. And when I did go, I just felt like I was this tiny person in this giant church that no one knew my name, no one knew who I was, and I was just a body there. I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel connected. I never had a spiritual connection, whatsoever.
I grew up in a divorced family. My parents divorced when I was roughly 1 year old. My mother taught me a lot while raising my sister and myself on her own. She always did what she could to provide for me and my sister, and I think she did a great job teaching us and instilling in us good principles. While I was growing up, going over to some friends' houses, I always felt something was different. I didn't know why. They had two parents living at their house when I only had one. I always kind of questioned God on why He would not give me my mom and dad living in the same household as they did. I always believed in God, but with my mom working so much, we just didn't go to church that often. I was like many others, only coming to God in times of need or times of being angry, questioning Him. Why me? Why can't I have this? Or maybe when things just weren't exactly what I wanted them to be, or expected them to be, or prayed about them to be, and not having my answers actually 100% met the way that I thought that they should be. My wife and I started dating when we were 12 years old, and the whole time we were dating, we had friends and family members that always went to church, and we were never really invited to go, especially in our later teens and early 20s, and that just kind of put maybe a little doubt in my mind whether church was the right thing.
In 2008, Dallas and I got engaged, and we started planning our wedding. And in the middle of planning our wedding, my parents decided to get divorced after 25 years of marriage. And it was a very nasty, nasty divorce, and I was kind of caught in the middle. My older sister was off and married, and my younger sister was too young to understand. So I was just kind of stuck in the middle of everything, and then trying to plan, the happiest day of my life. When my parents are separating for the rest of their lives was really hard, and everything just pushed me away even further. I didn't grow up going to church. I didn't know very much going to church, and then this happened, and it just left me with all kinds of questions. Why my family? Why did this have to happen now? And is this going to happen to me? Am I going to end up the way my parents ended up? And I just pushed away all the way. Dallas and I got married, and we've been married almost 6 years now, and things have been wonderful and great. There's just been one thing that's kind of been missing in our relationship, and that's God.
I remember a couple weeks before last Father's Day, Courtney and I discussed about attending church and what church we would like to attend. And we went over several different churches of family members and friends that went to churches, and we were talking, and we couldn't really come up with the exact church that we'd like to go to. A few days later, we had a few friends come over for dinner, and we were just talking, hanging out, and we didn't bring anything up about church, and it was asked that we attend their Father's Day at Genesis. And Courtney and I kind of looked at each other and smiled, and just knew that, okay, maybe this might be our first church that we just go to, see what it's all about.
We went, and I was like, this isn't going to be good. I'm not going to like this. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about the Bible except, just the generic stuff that everybody knows, and I'm just going to be lost, and I'm just going to feel uncomfortable, and I'm not going to like this. And we decided to go anyways because they were our friends, and we were like, let's give it a shot. We've never done it before. Let's just see how it goes.
I remember the first time we walked in, we got all ready as a family. We're excited. We walked in church, and everybody greeted you. Everybody was real nice, friendly, and it made you feel welcomed.
Everyone was super nice, and everyone was very welcoming, and you felt more like a person than you did just this number. That was really warm to me, and I really enjoyed that.
I remember the first service sitting there just listening to songs and worship at the beginning, and Courtney and I both just knew that, I held her hand, and, we just squeezed every now and then when we knew that, things were really about us, that we thought that really kind of hit home for us.
And after we left, Dallas and I kind of just looked at each other in the car, and we were like, we love this. This is a good church. Our kids love it. Everyone was really, really friendly and nice. And I actually left understanding what Brian had said to us that day, and he put it in terms of my life and, what we're going through, and that really hit home to me.
After leaving that first day of service, we were excited. We said that we definitely wanted to come back and try it again. I remember just over the next couple weeks, just writing down questions after questions that I had about church, about the Bible, about just anything in general about my past, that why and how. And I remember after a few services later, I asked Brian, I said, Brian, would you mind meeting me one day this week just to go over some few questions I had? I didn't tell him that I had 1,000 questions written down for him. So we went back to church a few weeks later. I asked Jesus in my heart. I was very excited. After that Sunday was the first time that I really started having an actual relationship with God. Coming to Him every day and just talking, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether I'm sad or happy or thankful for something that He's doing in my life. I just came to Him and was able to talk to Him, speak to Him, and feel like I, had someone that I could come to no matter what my circumstances was.
The Summer Splash of last year, they did baptisms at Genesis, and we went, of course, and I was standing there in front, second row, and they just started singing and doing the baptisms, and I just felt this emotion come over me that I've never felt before. Tears just started flooding my eyes, and I couldn't stop. Just watching all those people, commit their lives to Christ just made me want to do the same thing. And from that point on, I just knew, this is something I need to do. I need to do it for myself, and I need to do it for my family. And one day we were just driving in the car, and he kind of looked at me and he goes, I'm ready to get baptized, which made me excited because I want to do it together, but I don't want him to push him into something that he, isn't ready for. So when he said that, I was excited that we could do it together. And, I just feel like God has great plans for us and great plans for our family, and I'm excited to see, where He takes us and where He takes our family, and I'm excited that we get to do this journey together.